Okay, so today we start with Selenium setup. Okay, so since we are using Java to write Selenium test cases, we should have Java setup first. Download Java, download Eclipse, set path variable. Okay, I hope this is already done for all of you. Okay, since you have been practicing in your Eclipse, you are done with this part. We'll start with setting up Selenium now. Okay, so this is my Eclipse. I'll create a new project. So far, what have we named? Selenium training. Okay, this should be Java training. Okay, in this only we have all Java related concept. One second. Hmm. I change name to Java training. Okay, so these have all Java examples. If you remember. Okay, so all packages, all Java, and we have created one test ng training for learning test ng. Okay, this is totally test ng. Now I'll create a new project. I'll name it Selenium training. Okay, I'll name it Selenium training. Okay, finish. Okay, we have created a project for Selenium. Now it's time to download Selenium. If you search Selenium download in Google, so you will be taken to download page in seleniumhq.org. This is the website. Seleniumhq.org is website for Selenium. Okay, under that download link is there. In download, so there is one Selenium standalone server and there are Selenium client libraries. Okay, so we have to download this Java client library. Okay, remember this. So I am downloading it. Hope I already downloaded it. Automation tree. Okay. We'll pause. Resume. Okay. So I just went to the folder where these files were physically downloaded and placed. Then using this build path, configure build path, simply did this add external jar, selected all of them and selected open. That's it. So now you have all Selenium jars referenced in your project. You can make use of them directly. Okay, now you are done with um, downloading Selenium and adding the Selenium to build path of the project. Okay, download Selenium, create in Selenium project workspace, add Selenium jars to build path of project that we just did. Then download Chrome binary, download Firefox binary, and before that, since we want to use TestNG as a testing framework, we need to download TestNG. Okay, adding TestNG library to build path of project. Okay, so if you remember, um, I showed you how to download TestNG. That is, go to this Eclipse marketplace. Go to TestNG, search for TestNG. Okay, so this TestNG as TestNG comes as a plugin to your Eclipse. So that plugin is available in this Eclipse marketplace. Okay, it's already installed in my Eclipse, so I am not going to install it again. All that I need to do is just add TestNG library to your build path. Okay, build path, again go to configure build path. Here in case of TestNG, since TestNG comes as a plugin to Eclipse, it's not like how you added Selenium jars to your project. Selenium jars we just added using add external jars first, but for adding TestNG library, you have to select add library. It gives TestNG. Since TestNG is already installed as a plugin to Eclipse, we are getting this option here. Just select that, do next, click finish. See, TestNG library got added to your project build path. Okay, this is how you need to add TestNG. Okay, now we are done with downloading TestNG, adding TestNG library to build path of project. Then you need to download Chrome binary and Firefox binary. I'll explain what they are. Before that, we need to search for driver Chrome driver download. Or you can do one thing in Selenium download space. Okay, the same download space. If you scroll down, see it gives Google Chrome driver. You have to select that. There are Chrome driver Windows 32. Okay, we need to download this. Similarly, for Firefox, you will find Firefox binary too. Uh, okay, let me give the name here as Chrome driver.exe. The Chrome binary is called as Chrome driver.exe, and Firefox binary is called as Gecko driver.exe. Okay, so we'll download both of them. Okay, so this got downloaded. I'm copying it, placing it in my softs folder. Similarly, I will download Gecko driver. Go back, see Mozilla Gecko driver. So version 0.10.0 is the latest. So I'll download it here, Windows 64 zip. Okay, So this is Gecko driver for Firefox. Okay, this is Gecko driver. Copy it, place it in my softs folder. Okay. Uh, what I'll do, these two driver, since they are external to my project. See, my project folder is something different, and I have placed this driver somewhere else. What I'll do, I'll create a new folder within the project itself and call it drivers. Okay, and within that drivers, I copy these two files so that if I upload them, or am sharing you project in drive, right? So if I upload this complete project, you will get this folder, these exes also along with the project, so that you don't need to go and download them again and add to your path. And the same way I could have done for libraries too, okay, for jars too, but since the size is huge, uploading and downloading takes time, so I am not adding jars. I want you to download the jars on your own, put them on some folder in your local drive, then add that jars to build path each time you want to execute, or you add them once, that is sufficient. Okay, so I have all of them ready. So first I downloaded Java Eclipse. Okay, this part was done long before. Now I downloaded Selenium, just added it to build path, then created Java project. Now after creating Java project, added Selenium jars to build path of project, then then download TestNG, adding TestNG library to build path of project, that is also done. Then download Chrome binary, then download okay, then downloaded Firefox binary. Okay, now it's time to write our first program. Okay, so here I'll create a new package and call it um, WebDriver intro. Okay, I'll call it as WebDriver intro, then new class, call it my first uh, Selenium example. So initially I'll write main method, then I'll change it to testng. So this is my main method. In that, how to start with writing your first Selenium test. So Selenium has an interface called WebDriver. Okay, this is the interface. See, if you remember, WebDriver interface has all abstract methods. Okay, all abstract method. That means no method body. Okay, just like abstract, high level. Okay, no body, and interface has to be implemented by another class. Okay, the class that is implementing the interface has to implement all abstract methods present in interface, or has to provide body for all the methods present in interface. That we know, right? In case of WebDriver is the interface. Okay, WebDriver is interface. This WebDriver is implemented by classes like Firefox driver, Chrome driver, IE driver, like this. Okay, this WebDriver interface just says what a WebDriver class should do. Okay, just use the names, and accordingly Firefox driver implements all those methods. Uh, Similarly, Chrome driver implements all those methods in its own way. IE driver also implements all its methods in its own way. Okay, let me write the first program. You'll understand. WebDriver. Okay, this is the interface. I am creating object for interface. Okay, like this, equal to new what I want to create. So we know, if you remember, for an interface we cannot create object. Okay, so since WebDriver is an interface, we cannot create object like this. If I create this, first we need to import that. Okay, so even after importing, you are getting this error. See, cannot instantiate the type WebDriver. So meaning of instantiation means creating the object. So that means cannot create objects of the type WebDriver, because WebDriver is an interface. So you should not write it like this. How to write that? You have to use the constructor of any implementing class. I'll do this. This. I need to import Chrome driver jar also. Okay. See, this is how we need to do. I can do it like this, or I can do it like this. New Firefox driver. Okay, I can do it like this. So if you want to test using Chrome, you have to do new Chrome driver. If you want to test using Firefox, you have to do this. Okay, I want to test using Chrome driver. So first, the very first step in your Selenium code is this. You are actually creating an object, WebDriver object. Okay, for Chrome driver. Now we'll do WebDriver dot get. So see, this WebDriver has all these method: close, equals, find elements, get current URL. You will come to know all these methods. Don't worry. So let me write a sample code. http www.google.com. Okay. So this actually opens a new Chrome window. This step, when the steps gets executed, a new Chrome window gets opened. In that Chrome window, you are opening www.google.com. Okay, then I will do this WebDriver dot get title. Okay, I will do this. It gives the title of the current web page that is opened in that browser. So this gives title. I want to print that. How to print that? Okay. 1 second. Get title. Once that is done, I want to close dot quit. There is a method called quit. It actually closes your Chrome browser. Okay, let me run this. It will throw some error. What is it? See, it says the path to the driver executable must be set by the WebDriver dot Chrome driver system property. Okay, so we have downloaded these two files, right? Chrome driver.exe, gecko driver.exe. This is actually looking for this Chrome driver.exe. Okay, so this Chrome driver.exe, what it is? You have your browser. Okay, you have your browser. This is my browser. Okay, Chrome browser. Then this is my Selenium code. Okay, or just I'll call Selenium. So if the Selenium wants to interact with Chrome, here I'm actually asking Chrome driver. This is nothing but a class in Selenium. Okay, so I'll Selenium code, I'll put it as Chrome driver class. Okay, okay, so if this Chrome driver class wants to interact with the Chrome browser, it cannot interact directly. There is a binary in between. Chrome driver exe. Okay, so this code interacts with this driver. Okay, then this binary or Chrome driver.exe, this interacts with the actual browser. Okay, so it cannot, this code directly cannot interact with your browser. It interacts through the Chrome driver.exe or Chrome binary, we'll call it. Okay, this is binary file .exe file. Okay, so this interacts only using Chrome driver.exe. Now, so what it is doing is, internally this Chrome driver class, when you do this WebDriver new Chrome driver, it will actually check the location of this Chrome driver.exe. We have to give the location of Chrome driver.exe. How can we give that? There is one thing called system.set property. So we are actually setting a system level property. Name of the property is WebDriver.ChromeDriver, and value of the property is the location of binary file. How to give location of binary file? See, as I said, we are by default, the location is the root folder Selenium training. Okay, in that there is a drivers. Okay, this is actually relative path drivers. In drivers there is Chrome driver.exe. Okay, so in two ways I can give that. One way is, so by using absolute path. How to give absolute path? I'll go to physical location where this binary is present, where I have placed them in my project drivers folder. So I'll go to workspace, Selenium training. In that I have created a drivers folder. In that I have Chrome driver.exe. What I'll do, I'll copy complete path, give it like this. Okay, So this is one way of doing it. You give complete path of the Chrome driver.exe, or you give relative path. So by default, as I told, the location is the parent root folder of your project, that is Selenium training. Okay, so in that, in drivers there is Chrome driver.exe. So you can give the relative path or the complete path. Any one is sufficient. What I'll do, I'll go with relative path. Okay, now let me run this. See, Chrome browser is open, then Google homepage is open, then it gave the title, it printed the title of Google, the page that got opened, then WebDriver quit got executed and the driver window got closed. Okay, okay, what happened is, when this code is run, WebDriver equal to new Chrome driver, this class actually creates a WebDriver object. Okay, so WebDriver object nothing but it references or it represents the browser window that gets opened. Okay, for opening that window, it checks for Chrome driver.exe where it is actually exists. So that location of that Chrome driver.exe is stored using WebDriver.Chrome driver property. That means this Chrome driver actually checks for the value of WebDriver.Chrome driver.property. Okay, so what is the value of this property? This is the value. This is the key. This is the value. So your Chrome driver actually checks for this key. Okay, and if it finds that the value for this key, that means this value, then it will go and look for that file in that location. If that location is present, using that binary, it opens your Chrome browser. Okay, okay, let me keep it simple. If you want to open your Chrome driver or Chrome browser, you need this Chrome driver.exe. Okay,
సిద్ధు,
huh.
ఇప్పుడు ఆ ప్రాపర్టీ వాల్యూ దీంట్లోకి ఎట్లా పోతుంది ఈ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ కి వెబ్ డ్రైవర్?
ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఎలా అంటే దీని బై డిఫాల్ట్ ఏంటంటే, దిస్ ఈజ్ యూ కెన్ కాల్ దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎ హార్డ్ కోడెడ్ వాల్యూ ఇన్సైడ్ దిస్ క్రోమ్ డ్రైవర్. దిస్ క్రోమ్ డ్రైవర్, దిస్ క్లాస్, రైట్, దిస్ క్లాస్ ఇంటర్నల్లీ చెక్స్ ఫర్ దిస్ ప్రాపర్టీ. Okay, so if I change this to something else, it will not work. So this value is default. That means the key, suppose you have to provide this location using only this key. You cannot provide using any another key. Okay, this Chrome driver checks for this key only. So that's why, since I know this Chrome driver checks for this key, I am directly setting the value of that key to this value. Okay, so this is how you are actually telling Chrome driver that my Chrome driver.exe present at this location using this property. Okay, or let me repeat this again one last time. Chrome driver, when it has to open a new Chrome window, it internally checks for this property. Okay, if it finds some value, okay, it goes ahead and opens that window using that binary. If it does not find, see, I am commenting it. If I run this, the path to the driver executable must be set by the WebDriver Chrome driver system property. See this line, read this line carefully. So path to the driver executable must be set by the WebDriver Chrome. That means we have to use this property only. Okay, so this is the property. How we are setting? We are using only this property. Okay, and giving some value to this property. That means your Chrome driver by default checks for this property only. Okay, if you provide that value, then it will work properly. If you don't provide, then it will throw this exception. Okay, so now your Chrome driver is being opened. Let me run this in debug mode. Okay, debug as I have not shown you how to debug so far. Don't worry. Okay, so so far how I have been executing the test case like this: run as. Okay, let me stop this again. Execute this. So run as Java application. This is how I use it to run a Java program. If I want to debug, instead of run as, I'll go to debug as and do Java application. So these are called breakpoints. Okay. So wherever there are breakpoints, code execution stops there, waits for you to uh, do the debugging or go to the next step. Okay, now it stopped there. I want to execute this line. How to do that? See, step into step over. Okay, we'll go ahead with step over. That means if you do f, that is f6. Okay, okay, f6. It will simply execute that line. Go to the next line. Okay. Now I'll do step over f6 again. See the control. Now it has opened new Chrome window. So at this line, your new Chrome window got opened. Okay, and this window is completely represented using this WebDriver object. Okay. Now if I do WebDriver.get, let me execute this. See what happened. Now it has opened this URL in it, http www.google.com. Then if I execute this line, WebDriver.get title, then print it. Okay, it has printed Google. Okay, now I will do, I will execute the last line. How to do that? F6 again. It has quit. Okay, and just do, once you are done with all the steps, just do F8. Okay, okay, your code execution is done. Okay, so when this line gets executed, your new Chrome window gets opened. Then this URL is opened in that Chrome window. Then when this WebDriver.get title is executed, it returns the title of that window. Then quit. It quits that browser window. So this is very uh, simple example. Okay, very basic example. Now I want to do the same thing using testng. I don't want main methods. Okay, since I am a tester, I need to make use of some testing framework. In my case, the testing framework that I want to use testng. So using testng, I would like to write the same thing. Okay, how to write that? In the same package, I'll create a new class called my first Selenium example using testng. Okay, I don't want to create a main method in it. Okay, so first I will create a method public void. I would like to do something in it. I would like to first, I need to name it. I name it as my test. Okay, this is my method. Inside this method, the same thing I want to do. Okay, so now this method has the same steps. Okay, so opening the Chrome driver, then opening this URL, then getting the get title, quitting. Okay, so the second important thing to do is annotate it using @test annotation. See, while you are importing, this @test is present in both testng and JUnit. Since we are using testng, import test change annotation. Don't import JUnit annotations. Okay. See, now this is the test. Now if I write run it using run as test ng test, done. Okay. Okay. When we test anything, we actually check whether some actual value and some expected value are equal. Okay. In this case, after opening this URL, I would like to check whether the expected title and actual title are same. So what I will do, string actual title. I know, sorry, expected title equal to Google. Okay. Then string actual title equal to, that is written by your webdriver.get title method. So it gives the title at that time. Okay. After opening the space, it reads the title and returns the title, and I am storing that value into actual title. Now it's time to compare whether expected title and actual title are equal. So as I told, in a test case or in a test case, test method, the way to uh, compare whether actual and expected values are equal is using asset. Okay. Asset class has multiple methods to do that. I would like to say, see, go for asset equals. Okay. And I would like to go for actual and expected. Okay. So my actual title is actual title, my expected title is expected title. Okay. I'm removing this. So this makes this a valid test case. Until unless there is no comparison between actual and expected values, you don't say, or you don't write a test case without comparing actual and expected values. There will be no test case where you actually validate whether something is equal to something else. Okay. So this steps completes this as a test case. Okay. If you don't put this, this doesn't make a test case. You are just opening something. Okay. And you are not comparing it with something else. So that means you are not testing it. You just opened, you did not test anything, you just closed it. That doesn't make it a test case, valid test case. When it becomes a valid test case, when you put some validation. How to put validation? What is a validation? In validation, you actually check whether actual value and expected values are equal. So this is how we put validations in test ng using asset. Okay. So here we actually test for actual title and expected title whether these two values are equal. Okay. If it is equal, then this test case fails, passes. If it is not equal, then test case fails. First let me run this. See, it showed that your test case is passed. Okay. This is shown in green. Okay. So now what I'll do, I'll intentionally change the value of expected title. I'll say that my expected title is Google title. Okay. But actual title is just Google. Okay. See, if I go to just Google page, uh, see, this is the title. Whatever you see here is the title. Okay. So this is title is Google. Intentionally I put expect title as Google title, but actual title will be just Google. Since Google and Google title are not equal, this test case fails. That means this assertion fails. Assertion is failed means your test case is failed. Okay, see, test case is failed. Okay, why the test case is failed? If I go here and see this, see, Java language assertion error, expected is Google title but found just Google. Okay, it has given this message also. See, if you see, this window also not got closed. Why? Because since this assertion is failed in testng, if assertion fails, then the lines after that line, the code lines after the assert line will not get executed. So your it justly returns or comes out of your test case. Okay, so since this webdriver dot quit doesn't get executed, this is this window has not got closed. Okay, so see, since this assertion failed, your test exited from here itself. It did not run next line of code. Since this line was not run, your window was not closed. Let me run this again. Let me run this in debug mode. Okay, debug as, for testing also you will find debug as test ng test. Okay, I am here. I will do step over. Okay, it has opened new window. Then I will do again a step over, that is F6. See, now Google got opened. We'll do step over again. So actual title webdriver.getIll. What is the value of actual title? Google. If you see that, you can see that value, right? Google. Now if I see now, some it failed at this point, then it went into some exception class. This is invoker classes. Okay, you don't need to worry about it. And your next line did not get executed. Webdriver.get.quit was never executed. That's why your window is still open. So don't worry. I'll show a proper handling of all these cases. Okay, so our aim is to learn Selenium, put it in a form of valid testng test case. Okay, and do proper exception handling. We'll take care of all those things. Okay, we'll stop it here today. Tomorrow uh, we'll get into next topic, that is element identifiers. Okay, testng.
Okay.